Naga Peace at the Crossroads. Inside the August 23, 2025 FNR meeting, the long and fractured journey of the Naga peace process witnessed another crucial turn on August 23, 2025. On this day, civil society-led reconciliation efforts under the Forum for Naga Reconciliation, FNR, brought together two of the most important stakeholders in the decades-old Indo-Naga talks. The National Socialist Council of Nagalim Isak Muiwa, NSCN-IM, and the Working Committee of the Naga National Political Groups, NNPGs. This joint participation, confirmed by ground reports and multiple reliable news outlets, is significant because these two blocs had long been at odds, carrying separate negotiations with the Government of India. While the Indo-Naga peace process has seen dramatic highs and painful lows since the signing of the 2015 Framework Agreement and the 2017 agreed position, this development reflects renewed hope that reconciliation, rather than division, may guide the next chapter. Yet, the picture is far from complete. Other factions of the NSCN continue to diverge in their approach, with the Nikki-Sumi-led group reaffirming its support for dialogue, while the Aung faction stands firmly by the call for full sovereignty. The August 23 meeting was, therefore, not only a moment of optimism, but also a reminder of the deep rifts that remain within the Naga political landscape. The historical backdrop of division. The Naga insurgency, one of South Asia's oldest armed struggles, traces its roots back to the late 1940s, when the Naga National Council, NNC, under AZ Fizo, declared Naga independence. Since then, splits, betrayals, and ceasefires have defined the movement. The NSCN, formed in 1980 following the Shillong Accord of 1975, itself fractured into numerous factions. The most dominant has been the NSCN-IM, led by Thwingaling Muiwa and Isak Chishiswu, which entered into a ceasefire with New Delhi in 1997 and later signed the 2015 Framework Agreement. On the other hand, the NNPGs, an umbrella of 7 groups, entered their own agreed position in 2017. While both agreements promised a path toward peace, they also created dual and often competing narratives. The Economic Times has noted that this two-track negotiation became a stumbling block, with NSCN-IM and NNPGs often trading accusations instead of moving toward unity. The August 23, 2025 meeting, a breakthrough moment. The latest FNR initiative, held in Mokokchung's Ungma village, aimed to reset this fractured equation. Contrary to earlier speculative reports circulating online, ground updates confirm that NSCN-IM and NNPGs sat together under the FNR's reconciliation program. This moment is particularly significant because just weeks earlier, some media outlets like Northeast Live and other YouTube reports suggested that NSCN-IM might skip the consultations. However, eyewitness accounts and local journalists present on August 23 confirmed that both sides joined, signaling a willingness to revisit reconciliation. For the FNR, which has tirelessly worked since 2008 to bridge the divide among Naga groups, this was a vindication. It reaffirmed that dialogue, even if imperfect, remains the only way forward. NSCN-K, Nikki faction, support for peace. Alongside this breakthrough, the NSCN-K, Nikki faction's position has also gained attention. Led by Nikki Sumi, this group signed a ceasefire with the Government of India in December 2020, which has since been renewed multiple times, most recently until September 2025. Ukhrul Times and the Morung Express have both reported that the Nikki-led group continues to extend its support to reconciliation initiatives like those of the FNR. However, Nikki Sumi has repeatedly warned that meetings must not be reduced to photo opportunities, but should instead reflect genuine unity on the ground. In June 2025, East Mojo quoted him as saying that the agreed position of 2017 was meant to sabotage the framework agreement, highlighting the deep mistrust within the Naga camp. Nevertheless, Nikki's willingness to back peace programs arranged by civil society indicates that this faction is unlikely to obstruct reconciliation efforts. NSCN-K, Angmai, and NSCN-U. Still in the shadows, while the spotlight has been on NSCN-IM, NNPGs, and Nikki's group, questions remain over the positions of other smaller factions such as NSCN-K, Angmai, and NSCN-U. Reports so far have not confirmed whether these groups were present at the August 23 consultations. Their ambiguity reflects a recurring challenge. Smaller but armed factions often sit on the sidelines, neither committing fully to reconciliation nor openly rejecting it. Their absence makes it difficult to claim that the peace process is truly inclusive. NSCN-K, Aung, standing firm on sovereignty. The most uncompromising stance continues to come from the NSCN-K led by Aung. Based largely in Myanmar, this faction has consistently dismissed ceasefires with New Delhi and maintained its call for full sovereignty. Northeast Live recently reported that Aung's group will continue fighting for Naga sovereignty, refusing to participate in any dialogue that compromises this goal. This echoes earlier declarations made in 2023 and 2024, where the group openly rejected the framework agreement, agreed position, and all reconciliation programs led by the FNR. Their persistence in pushing for independence presents one of the most serious obstacles to a comprehensive settlement. For many within Nagaland, especially in border areas, the Aung faction represents both a symbolic reminder of the original dream of sovereignty and a practical source of instability. Why the FNR matters? The Forum for Naga Reconciliation remains central to this process. Unlike official government negotiations, the FNR is a civil society-driven initiative that seeks to build trust between divided Naga factions. According to the Murang Express, the FNR's efforts have not always borne fruit, but they have created a space where Naga groups can meet without the immediate pressures of political deals. This space, while fragile, has often been the only bridge between rival camps. The August 23 meeting, therefore, is not just a symbolic gesture. It signals that despite bitterness and mistrust, dialogue lines are still open. The dual-track dilemma, one of the central complications is the existence of two negotiating tracks, the NSCN-IM's framework agreement and the NNPGs agreed position. Both documents were signed with the Government of India, yet they diverge in key areas. The Hindustan Times reported in 2023 that NSCN-IM has never backed down from its demand for a separate flag and constitution, while the NNPGs have leaned toward a more pragmatic solution within the Indian Union. These divergent positions create what analysts often call a dual-track dilemma. Until now, New Delhi has largely managed these negotiations separately. But with NSCN-IM and NNPGs now appearing together at reconciliation talks, the government may soon face pressure to unify its approach. Challenges ahead. Despite the optimism, challenges abound. 1. Sovereignty. Question. With NSCN-K, Aung firmly rejecting compromise, a fully united Naga stand appears elusive. 2. Public trust. Years of broken promises and shifting positions have left many Nagas skeptical of peace talks. 3. Government of India's stance. While New Delhi has expressed commitment to a final solution, it remains unclear how far it is willing to go on demands like integration of Naga areas, separate flag, and constitution. 4. Factional rivalries. Even within groups, leaders often disagree, leading to mixed signals and confusion. The road ahead. For now, the joint participation of NSCN-IM and NNPGs on August 23 stands as a rare moment of unity. Nikki Sumi's support adds further weight to the FNR initiative, while the uncertainty surrounding smaller factions leaves questions unanswered. The major shadow, however, is cast by Aung's unwavering sovereignty demand. Unless this faction is either brought to the table or sidelined by broader consensus, the Naga peace process will remain incomplete. Still, as one civil society leader in Mokokchung remarked after the meeting, even a small step toward unity is better than endless division. Conclusion. The Naga peace process, now in its 7th decade, is at another crossroads. The August 23 meeting showed that reconciliation is still possible, even between rivals like NSCN-IM and NNPGs. Yet, the divisions remain deep, especially with factions like NSCN-K, Aung, refusing to compromise. The FNR's perseverance, the willingness of groups like Nikki's faction to support peace, and the cautious optimism around recent developments all suggest that while a final settlement may be distant, the journey toward it has not been abandoned. The coming months will reveal whether these gestures translate into real unity or fade into yet another missed opportunity. Sources: The Economic Times, coverage of Naga peace process and factional divides. Ukhrul Times, reporting on NSCN-K, Nikki ceasefire extensions. The Morung Express updates on Nikki Sumi's statements and FNR's role. East Mojo, coverage of Nikki Sumi's criticisms of the agreed position. Northeast Live TV, reporting on NSCN-K Aung's sovereignty stance. Hindustan Times, reporting on NSCN-IM's demands for separate flag and constitution. Frontier Manipur, analysis of NNPGs accusations against NSCN-IM. EPOW, timeline of Indo-Naga peace talks. Disclaimer, Zalengam Media. This article is an original investigative write-up by Zalengam Media. While every effort has been made to ensure accuracy, the information presented here is based on reports from multiple credible news outlets. Zalengam Media does not claim ownership of third-party content and provides this analysis purely for educational, awareness, and journalistic purposes.